what's up, y'all? This is Jacob Latimore with Bre. Stay tuned, baby. Let's get it.
It's Alicia. Be sure to tune in to Bre on Saturdays, 10 to 2.
What's up, everybody? This is Tye Tribbett here, and I'm chilling with my girl, Bre. Check her out every weekday. Be locked.
What's up, family? It's your boy, Keelante Gavin. I'm hanging with my big sis. I love you so much. Stay tuned. She's getting ready to kill the game. Love you, Bre.
Yo, it's the Young King from Philly, tuning in with Bre. Peace and brunch. Let's get it.
What's up, everybody? It's Enrique Holmes, and I'm here with my girl, Bre. Make sure you guys stay tuned because she got some heat coming.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Culture's Plug, another episode, and I have one of my favorite people in the building, my bro, man, a mentor,
I'm glad to be here.
great peoples. He's a lot of stuff. We're gonna get into all that, but he goes by the name of Will Brandon Morris.
She's my whole government.
You know I had to do it to you. He's aka my twin, cause my twin got the same name, but well, he's good peoples, and I'm happy to have him.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, bro. You know what it is. You know what to do. All right, so before we get into anything, I just want to give y'all like a little background of who he is. He's a graphic designer. He's an author. He's a gospel singer. That's number one. He's a creative, and I just want to allow y'all to see what he's been up to. Well, let's get that rolling, and we'll be right back. Okay, so the first question I wanted to ask you was, who's Will Morris?
Who is Will Morris? That is a loaded question. Honestly, I'm just a creative weirdo. I like to define it sometimes. Who just enjoys just pursuing purpose and creating the things that come to my mind. Because I know, like growing up, I mean, my family, they didn't disapprove of what I like to do, but there wasn't a lot of outlets for me to make music or for me to, I'm not a illustrator, but I do graphic design, but that wasn't like the main go-to thing. Mm-hmm. So as I began to, like in high school or even college, I started to find out the more artsy stuff that I really enjoy doing. And now like, it's like no looking back. Like Will Morris is a creative to the fullest, and I'm one of those creatives that even if I can't create it, I want to look for other creatives who can, so we can collab or so we can make art, because that's one of the best things to be able to do is to create something out of nothing.
Yes,
and inspire people. So yeah. In a nutshell, I think that's what would define Will Morris.
Oh, that was a lot. It's not a nutshell.
Yeah, right.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Yeah, like I said, you're my mentor, and you're just awesome. You know what I mean? You just really guide me in special ways, and for a minute. So, you really mean a lot to me, bro.
And for one, I take those words to heart, because I know what it's like to look for, whether it's information or people that you can really glean from. Yeah. And not always being able to find that, I definitely made it an initiative of mine is when I see people who, because it's not like people like who are down and decrepit or oh my God they're really struggling, but people who are looking for more and to make moves in the areas of entrepreneurship or creativity. So to be a light wherever I can, like right. I enjoy doing that. Yeah. And I don't take the word mentor lightly, so I'm proud to be your mentor.
Well, I know that. All right, so for those who don't know, like tell people where you're from, how you get started with singing, your background of graphic design and writing.
Well, I guess starting from the beginning, I'm from a place called Plainfield, New Jersey. Born and raised all the way up until I was 18 years old. And when it comes down to just how I started singing or just the whole creative side of me. I mean, I've been singing since I was 9. My grandmother, she always used to like, even as a kid, before I was 9, she would say, "You're almost 9 now. We're about to start the choir. We're about to start this." And even when I started it, it was not, I didn't do it just because, oh, I'm going to sing, but I saw she liked to do it.
Right.
And I wanted to be in an atmosphere where I can at least get the same outcome like she was having. And from there, I just stuck with it. And over the course of my life, I was with the kids choir, the young adults choir, the mass choir,
all the choirs.
And I didn't start songwriting until I would say my sophomore, junior year in college.
Wow.
And it was really just a hobby. Like I didn't really take being an artist seriously because I'm like, I didn't go to school for that, or that wasn't on my trajectory. But as I began to connect with other creatives, I'm like, man, I can do this. And even my sound is unique to its own beat, but I found a way to make music and art out of it. And since I was a junior, I've been doing it with all gas, no brakes.
Yes. Isn't it in the song? All
Is
gas, no brakes.
Is that in the song? No copyright infringement. Right?
Yeah, don't be coming to sue us. Shoot. But man, that's so awesome. That's amazing. And I do know that, you know, one of our peoples that's connected is Alicia Beach. So how did y'all come up with this song of Raging Waters?
Raging Water. Well, a cool story about Alicia Beach. We actually, I want to say we grew up together, but we're from the same town, and we were in similar circles, from kids all the way up until college, and we reconnected maybe I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. It might have been 4 years. Once you pass 30, things starts to become a blur. But we reconnected, and I saw that she sang. She had an amazing voice, and it was one of those things like, hey, you want to collab on this song? And she said sure, and everything is history from there.
I can hear her actually saying sure.
Yeah. Yeah, like it was definitely a pleasure working with her. And because I think she stayed almost like an hour or so away from when I went home to record it, and she showed up, she was ready, her voice was warmed up, and she delivered, and yeah, it was definitely a pleasure working with her.
Yeah, I actually remember last year for your Mark Summit, what you're going to get into, what's that for people watching, but she was there, both your mentors, and yeah.
Well, she was at the live recording, not the Mark Summit.
Oh, yeah, thanks for specifying that, because I'm like saying the wrong thing. But yeah, it was just amazing to like, I was like, wow, look at them working together, feel me? But, yeah, I mean, that song was just really fire.
As a creative, to be in a room or to connect with just one other creative, it makes the work easier. Like it didn't seem like work working with Alicia, because a lot of times you find when you're doing creative things, you're on tight deadlines, and sometimes you have time to prepare, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah,
you just gotta jump in and flow, and so it was a pleasure all the way around.
Yeah, so for the people who are watching, we're going to come right back. Here's a little clip of the live recording from last year with Will Morris, and we'll be right back.
So just be encouraged tonight that there's a God that's pursuing you like raging water. It's a simple song. On the cliff of my mind, your presence covers me, daily reminder. You're madly in love with me. You're always pursuing, carving away at my heart. And like raging water, you won't stop. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
my heart's desire.
All right, so we're back with my bro, Will Morris. Yeah. Peace. That's what he always says.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm just chopping it up, enjoying his time. And of course, a pleasure to have him in the building. So now, I do know that you have this book. It's incredible, which you have right here, the hard copy. You know what I mean? Yeah. My Purpose Has a Pulse by Will Morris.
That's what it says on there?
What? If you don't stop. All right, so I just little boys you, like, you know.
No, you're good. You're good. Look, it works. I get it.
But yeah, so this book is incredible, and for those who don't read manually or
there's an audio version.
Right, that's what I'm about to go to.
Right.
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just tell me, how did you come about writing that book? Like,
shout outs to my cousin Shakina Farmore and a friend of mine, Natalie Jones. They definitely helped me birth that thing, because it was a culmination of a few years of getting it all down, and yeah, it is what's in the name. My purpose has a pulse. Like, it was my getting out of, if I am not doing something that makes me feel alive, then what am I doing?
Right.
And it's not just I make a lot of analogies about the human body in the book, but it's like, just like we're living organisms, it's the same thing when it comes down to our purpose or the trades that we do. Like, if it's not functioning like an organism, or if it's not growing, or if it's not having a beat to it, or if it don't look like it's moving, then it's dead. And why spend our limited years on earth doing something that means nothing? Yeah. Like, I think sometimes, even when defining what a creative is, sometimes people look at it as, well, I don't do music, or I don't do plays, but a creative is just an idea. Creativity is not defined to music. It's defined to art. It's defined to anything that you're creating. You could be creating stones outside. Like, that's creativity.
That's a deep one.
And people are passionate about stonework. So it's like, the book is all about finding what gives you life, what gets you moving, what gets your heart waking up to where it's not, oh, I got to go to work today, but yes, I'm excited to go to work today.
Right.
Because we see in this world, you can make money legally. You can make money doing a lot of things. So why not spend your life trying to find that out?
Yeah, that's a fact. Well, that's dope. That's real dope. That was a loaded question. Loaded answer, I meant to say. But one of my favorite parts in this book, which I just found not too long ago, to be honest, but okay. So I quote Will Morris. Okay, it says, "In moments of turbulence, being flat-footed allows you to reflect, look back, see where you're going, and make a right decision on how to move forward." Mm-hmm. That's one line in there for me. And then another one, he said, "I had to decide if I was going to crumble under pressure or I was going to stand flat-footed with what God had called me to do. I must say this time for me was scary. I cried on the phone with my spiritual father, real tears, but I pressed my way forward." What does that mean? What was you?
I remember
referencing.
I actually just saw the movie After Earth, which is with Will Smith and Jaden Smith. It's a great movie, by the way. You need to check it out. But there's a part in there where he says, take a knee or ground yourself, because literally they're in this place to where the animals done.
It was chaotic.
Yeah, it was chaotic. So it's like, are you going to crumble under the pressure, or are you going to ground yourself to say, okay, I know what I have to do. I know it's crazy right now, but I still got to, once I finish with these emotions, I still got to go forth and do what I'm called to do. So even in that piece that you read about me, or about, in general, me encouraging people to be flat-footed, like, even with the craziness of life, don't let life spiral you out of your lane. And even though we know life will hit you left and right, uppercut, downcut, whatever, you got to find a place to ground yourself and say, okay, let me assess the situation. Let me not react, but let me just be proactive and say, okay, I know God called me to do this. People make mistakes. The greatest successful people, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, whoever you want to say, like, they all have failures. Yeah. And the things that have set them apart from other people who are pursuing destiny or trying to figure out what they have been called to do is, do they remain grounded?
Yeah, that's so deep. That's so true. Because even me, I'm just, getting this journey of this podcast. And I'm like, I kept saying, I don't know. Then I just decided to go for it, Because, I don't know, God's just been, all my life really just been guiding me, to this one particular field of like radio. My radio personality, check my show out, link below for me. And then also this podcast you can check out every week with dope people, creatives like my bro here. But like I was saying, it's just been a journey down this path, and God just been sending me signs, because it's just weird coincidences that it's like I need to be on this path, you know what I mean? And even with you, like you and my brother have the same name. Who would have thought? Right. And I'm like, that's so weird.
You'll find as we pursue what we've been called to do, there are moments where it's like, or I call them aha moments, like, oh, okay, this is why I'm here. Even when it comes down to, because I done picked up, put down, like, should I be doing this? Should I write this song? Should I do this art? Should I design it this way? But at the end of the day, if it's something that keeps coming back to you, right, even after you put it down and it keeps coming back to you, and it's like 2 a.m, and you're like, you should be asleep right now, but you're willing to muster up the extra energy to finish it, you should spend some time with that thing, because we can be doing anything else, but yet this is something that keeps coming back to you to try to, let me fix this, or let me change this, or let me do this drop a little bit different. Let me say this way. It's like, okay, this is something more than just a hobby. This is something more than just, oh, this is just a thought in my head. No, like, this is a craft, a passion that you have a grace to do. So I tell every creator, even with myself, like, it may not be perfect, but if it's mine and if it fits my personality and the art that I create, let's run with it. Because I'm not going to spend another. One thing I've learned, even when doing music, they say the mix is never finished. Like when you go in a studio and you're mixing an audio file, like even once you get to the last master of what it's going to sound like, if an engineer spends more time on it, they're like, oh, I can change this. At the end of the day, if you try to make it perfect, you'll never get it out. Yeah. And I don't want to have a Picasso in my pocket when I can have it on a wall somewhere to where people can be inspired by it. Right. So,
yeah, that's dope, and that's exactly why I continue to do what I do. Like radio, I'll be up like for 4 hours. Like, okay, this is not perfect. This is not how I want it to sound, and then just keep going and going and going. Eventually, I'll get there, but I don't quit. I just learned not to just give up. And even like from you, knowing knowing our connection, your story, I just learned not to quit. Alicia, same. Just people that, I really get motivated by people's, I guess, testimonies, like, see them come up from where they was trying to go for so long. And then it's like, wow, I really could do that. And that's why I'm always like trying to push other people to do the same now.
And you'll find too, is like a real creative is not a creative by themselves. The only way that Will Morris is able to produce the music he does or the events I do is by being surrounded by other creatives. That book, one thing is between my cousin Natalie and Say What Inc., which was a ghostwriting company here in Orlando, they helped pull that out of me. So I had the dream, I had the idea, but now it's just like, oh, I don't know if I want to finish this, but I done connected with these professionals and it's like, no, we're going to do this. Okay, you need to write it like this. It needs to sound like this. And at the end of the day, you have the book in your hand.
Yes.
So you definitely never feel as though you're doing it by yourself. Always try to connect with those that can help you carry what you're carrying.
Yes, I like that. You don't even have to tell me that when I'm off camera, so I can
Write it down.
write it down and say it on facts.
Right.
And say Wilmar's. Yeah, I love your logo. Well, you have two now, right? Or
I just did a rebrand or a refresh, as some of the graphics world people say it. Talking about for Will Morris.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I just did a refresh on it from our website, and honestly, where the inspiration came from, it was like, okay, I wanted to look clean, but I always want something in there to make it look like why is that in there? Just so people so it's not too cookie cutter.
Yeah.
A lot of my, I guess, veering into my graphic design side of my trade, or what I call myself doing, I always try to match up nice clean with grunge or just a little splatter to make it's almost like, okay, it's too perfect in here, let me just throw this over here so it's just looks, so it's something that people will look at
and you say
right.
Yeah.
And not everybody is down for that, because again, everybody has their own signature, but I know my mind and creativity always reverts back to mess it up a little bit, throw paint on the wall, and then create a pattern out of it and let it work. So when it came down to my logo, I know I can't be too crazy with it, but I wanted to have a little, so people can remember it when they see it.
When you just say in my mind, I just thought my mind is on me. I can say I was like, that's what came to mind. That's a dope concept for who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you to be the weirdo.
Yeah, look, I embrace it. It was a time where I didn't embrace it. I've always felt like, well, I don't sound like that person.
Yeah.
I don't fit into that box. But there's so many boxes out here. So what if you don't fit into a box? Create one.
Exactly. I don't want to fit in with everybody else
because if you're everybody in this world, right? And if you're everybody else, then there's never going to be a need for you yourself. Yeah. Like if you're trying to be everybody else, like people want to. What I've seen in the world today, people want uniqueness. They want to see something that only they could have access to. They don't want to see the cookie cutter. Some people do. The Martha Stewarts out there.
Oh,
no shade against Martha Stewart.
Nah, that was totally shade.
But people, they would rather spend money on a one of a kind encounter than something that you can just buy. Anywhere.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons. Even though this is gonna be like not a cliche, but. And that's one of the main reasons why I love going to gospel concerts and stuff, just regular secular music concerts. Even though you can check out my radio show, by the way, on WFPK Radio, Beats and Brunch, Monday through Friday, 10 to 2. Yeah, I forgot. But yeah, you can check that out, and it's like hip hop. I basically play some gospel, anything really. But yeah, so that's why I say it's kind of like cliche because I play hip hop on there, but I don't really support, going to the concerts because I feel like it's just so basic. You know what I mean? There's no authenticity. Some people, I should say. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I went to Migos concert and I just was like, that's cool, But then the other day, well, not the other day, but recently, I went to Gospel Encounter with Enrique Holmes, a dope gospel artist, Kalante, Gavin, dope gospel artist as well, awesome. Little bro, but yeah, and it was really fire. So it was like a real authentic encounter, and I just feel like you don't get that with a lot of hip hop.
I would say you don't get that in a lot of mainstream music, I would say, because there is some great hip hop, then there's some stuff is just like, oh, okay,
what is going on?
What's happening right now? But I think even whether it's mainstream, whether it's gospel, whether it's country, whether it's whatever it is, I find authenticity, like you said, like I find I have a heart for authenticity.
Yeah.
So if I can hear just where that person is at while writing the song or while singing a track, like I appreciate it. I may not listen to it on a regular, but I can appreciate, like, if it's really true to that person. I find that because even with my music, like I approach it from, I want to share my life or my emotions when writing the song or just whatever. Right. So if I see that in other artists, no matter what genre they're in, I appreciate it. But for those that is like bubblegum and it's really like, okay, like this is, my head is bopping, but what is the message? I'm like, okay, what is going on here?
Yeah, that's totally me too. Like my favorite artist right now, I'll say J. Cole.
He's very conscious.
Definitely Jay-Z. I love Nicki Minaj too. I confront. No Cardi B over here, not for me. Oh. I mean, I like her as a person. I said this on the last episode, you can check out. But I like her as a person, but it's just like her music, I can't flow it. It's just so repetitive to me. I like authenticity and, the message. So that's just me.
And one thing I will say about Cardi B, even though I'm not a hip hop head, but I definitely found that she's owned her own lane from what I've seen. Yeah. I know there's one sample track that she has on one of her latest songs, and it's a track that I used to always hear in the convenience stores up in Jersey. It's like because there's a lot of Puerto Ricans and Hispanic in Plainfield, but to see her take a sample track like that and then make it into a up-to-date modern hip-hop. Yeah. I'm like, all right, I may not know everything you're saying in this, but I say the word, I appreciate that. Right. And if people can make art that they can own, and it's definitely connecting people together, and again, everybody's music does not do that. I don't agree with everybody's music, but you still would have to say, like, even with Cardi B, like she's found her lane and she's owning it. No, okay. from what I've seen, but
sorry.
No, go ahead. No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, I could agree with you and then she just really recently said that she's making the music she's making because what she talks about really is like her body. Nothing go into detail, right? But she said, which makes sense because I've been saying this, is that like this is what people want to hear, So it's like, why would she come with something different when she knows this is gonna sell? And I agree with that to a point, but it's just like at some point, you got to do what you have in your heart to do, not what everybody else wants you to do,
right?
So,
and I think at that point, because all of us as artists have to get to it. We're going to be put in that position of where the question is going to come. Are you making music to maintain money or to live in a system that you've already connected in? Or you want to make music that is just passionate to you and you may not fit in that system anymore? Me personally, I'm like, whatever God has called me to do, whether the people love it or they don't, I already know that there's going to be provision and I'm going to be sustained, whether I'm singing songs or cultivating other creators or whatever. So I'm not going to say I wouldn't, because I don't want it to sound like, okay, am I going to sell my soul to the devil or am I not going to sell my soul, like type thing. But it's like you always are put in a position of, why are you doing it? Yeah. Because sometimes people are going to love you, then sometimes they're not. Right. If they don't, are you going to stop making music? Right. If they don't, are you going to not draw again? Like, no, like you still, sometimes your stuff ain't hot. Sometimes your stuff ain't lit. But that doesn't mean for you to take that and bury your head in a hole, learn from that and keep moving. Right. So that's my take on it.
That's a good That's a good point there. And I know, since talking about authenticity, and I brought up like the gospel encounter I had. So I did record some stuff while I was there. I need my cameraman over there, Ebro, to go ahead and fix it up, tune the thing up. So, but we're gonna go ahead and let y'all look at that real quick. It's Enrique Holmes. He was doing the Hope Tour here in Orlando, and Kalante Gavin. Said his name right this time. Little bro. So check it out and we'll be right back.
His promises are yes and amen. And he is faithful to do exactly what he said. Dante will be singing this part. He said, so be not weary in what you believe in. God's gonna do it, and it won't be long. God's gonna do it, and it won't be long.
Hey, I'm back with my bro once again. Yeah. All right. So, man, it's been a pleasure having him once again. And for those who's watching, explain your music or like what songs you recently have, on the platforms for them to listen to.
Yeah, so currently I have my main EP that I released in 2016. That is up on all social media outlets, Spotify, Apple Music. So you can go check that out. It's called Dwell. And I've been working on some new stuff that I just did a recording for last September. That album is called Rage, the live project. So definitely stay in the loop because I'm dropping 3 new tracks the beginning of next month in August. So I'm really excited about sharing that with the world.
Hey, I'm excited. Can't wait to hear it. One of my favorite songs by you is Blood in the Water. And I really related to that one.
Blood in the Water. It was one of because sometimes people they ask me how do you write music? Like where does it come from? And I remember being home in Jersey in the snow, riding down to meet some of my college buddies. And I'm a movie fanatic. So the best way to describe it is like the movie Jaws. And like da-da-da-da-da, like when the sharks are coming after you. And I got the piece, blood in the water, temptation I feel, blood in the water, my flesh I did yield, but now they're here, swarming around me, there's blood in the water, Father, help me. So that lyric that came to me that day, which grew into a whole song, it was really just describing my experience with sin and being separate from God and doing things that wouldn't bring him joy.
Right.
And just sometimes just coming to the understanding this is not what somebody else did, but it's something that people did, not people, that I put myself in. And just me repenting and say, hey, God, I need help. Right. So that definitely is a special song for me.
Yeah, a special song for me too. Similar ways, stuff that I struggle with. I remember asking you a question about that song that we just won't go into because I feel like it's personal. But yeah, so you can check out his music on all digital platforms. And of course, the Mark Summit is coming up, which is going to be impactful. I'm excited for it. August 3rd. Yeah, hopefully, those watching get those tickets if it's more.
Yeah. They can go to themarksummit.com, TheMarkedSummit, themarkedsummit.com.
Okay, cool. So this is the final question because I know you run out of time here. So how was it? I guess it's gonna be 2 in 1. So how is it singing for gospel singer Shana
Wilson Williams? Please.
Shana Wilson Williams.
Don't kill me,
God. Yeah. How is it? And how did that come about? That's a phenomenal career, goal, or not goal, but achievement, I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I've sung with Shana background a few times. I actually got connected with her back in 2010 when I brought her out to my school for a concert, which is similar to what I do now. And from there, we just stayed connected, and I just started working with her as she's touring on the road and helping her with her booking and things like that. So it's definitely been a surreal moment to work with someone who is in the gospel industry, who loves God, who their main sound is just God's presence when it comes down to the music she puts out. So to be able to see that from a behind the scenes view, and to really have built a friendship with her, it definitely has grown me, because she's a mentor of mine.
Wow, okay.
Even mentors have mentors, and I love just being around her and learning just from not necessarily her mistakes, but just her pursuit of the journey that she's on. So it's always been a pleasure just connecting with her in whatever way.
Okay. Yeah, that's amazing, and congrats to that. I like the fact that you even said that mentors have mentors too, and because for anybody, you're never too old to learn or
because things always change.
Something,
you need to learn.
I mean? Facts, and me, having that experience in Hot 97 just to learn. First of all, it's surreal. Me meeting DJ Cool Herc, like the founder of hip hop, and just interviewing him, and that experience is crazy. Connection with Kalante, gospel singer. I mean, he's a genuine person. That was cool too, and so I'm always happy for those moments, and that keeps me going in this field of radio and just learning about people. I love it, so.
And we need people like you.
As
artists, we need to be around people who not just want to know about us, but that can pull the information or pull the passion out of us. Because sometimes we do this so much, we don't really know how to voice that to the world. So even someone like you, to be able to pull that out of people and to share it with your audience is definitely something that we as artists need. And on behalf of other artists, I definitely want to say thank you for doing that.
Oh, thank you, bro. That means a lot, especially coming from you. You know what I mean?
You're welcome.
Yeah, definitely. I'll hold that in my heart forever. Yeah. So that's it. I'm gonna allow you to, have this moment, the red carpet moment for whatever you got going on, and while you're doing that, we're going to a lot of people see, the moments of you being with Shana Wilson and what you got going on, the Mark Summit and stuff like that. So,
okay.
Thank y'all for watching. This is Coach's Plug, and I'll be back with another guest next week. Gotta tune in to see what that is. So, yeah.
Peace out.
Peace. You gotta say that again.
Peace.
In 1 mile, turn.
We made it to the Holy Land experience. Look who's here, guys. Mr. King of Love.